Hi everybody, welcome to another session of Come Learn With Me. My name is Bat-El. Today we'll be looking at the article, Spiking Rates and Plummeting Affordability Have Priced Low-Income Owners Out of the Market. Let's get started. Just days ago, Zero Hedge reported that rent-controlled vicinities in New York City have soared. And it should also be no surprise that just yesterday they wrote about a mansion outside of Philadelphia that cost $35 million to build, but recently sold for just $9.26 million. That is because indications that Philadelphia, like many other home markets in the Northeast, is seeing ownership rates collapse. My friend and Philly-based realtor Kira Mason wrote this past week about how the city's affordability issues just got a lot worse, relative to where it stands against the Northeast cities. These are her thoughts. Philadelphia has long been praised for its affordability when compared with other cities in the Northeast, due in large part to relatively low-cost housing and some very compelling grants and regional loan programs. It is a higher percentage of individuals living in homes that they own than do DC, New York City, Baltimore, Pittsburgh, and Boston. But despite higher levels of home ownership, a key element of wealth building, over 23% of Philadelphians live below the poverty line, double the US average. Home ownership is an important piece of keeping that number from getting even higher, and I feel and suspect that the shift taking place in the housing market today will further stratify a Philadelphia that is already starkly divided along the class lines. Here is a graph describing that. Even before interest rates made their historic jump to 7% this fall, home ownership numbers in our city had started to decline. In 2019, they were down almost 9% from their highest record level of 58.2% in 2006. Many will attribute the shift to developers outbidding first-time buyers in Philadelphia's most affordable neighborhoods. I saw this firsthand in 2020 and 2021. Those of my buyers who had the biggest hurdle to overcome in their path to home ownership were repeatedly losing bidding wars to investors, even when putting forth offers that were significantly above asking price with affordable non-monetary terms. While wages remained stagnant between 2013 and 2021, Philadelphia's median residential sale prices rose a staggering 80%. If wages had grown at the same rate as they did the median sale price, the annual income of the average Philadelphian would have been almost $112,000 in July of 2021, an insulting far cry from reality. Here is a graph to describe that. While rates were at a historic low in 2020 and 2021, many lower-income Philadelphians were able to become homeowners despite rising prices. Now that rates have spiked above 7%, plummeting affordability to its lowest level in 37 years, these buyers are the first to be rejected from the market. Fortunately, there are programs available to keep rates as low as possible for buyers from a range of financial circumstances, but even the most competitive interest rates these days can be a tough pill to swallow. For buyers with lower income, Pennsylvania House Financial Agency (PHFA) loans or Fannie Mae's Home Ready loans are often a good fit. For buyers dealing with lower credit, FHA's plans are generally offered. All of the above keep rates and terms as affordable as possible by today's standards. Higher income buyers have the option of buying a lower priced home in order to keep their monthly payment within bounds. Lower income buyers are limited by the bottom bracket of available home prices and are therefore liable to be priced out of the market completely. A buyer in spring of 2021 with a 2.8% rate with a 10% down payment on a $3,000 house would have had a monthly principal and interest of $1,609. Today, at a 7%, their monthly payment would be $2,296, a 42% increase. Today's affordability strains make the members of this population who are able to remain in the market an essentially likely candidate for higher risk loans offering like adjustable rate mortgages, ARMs, and temporary rate buydowns, TBDs. ARMs, which had their reputation as a risky loan product cemented with housing crisis of 2008, are seeing renewed demands. Buyers are rightfully suspected of these loans with crisis in recent memory, but ARMs applications are still on the rise. They now comprise of 12% of total mortgage applications, up from 3% at the start of the year. Though this is fairly low in absolute terms, the recent spike has brought ARM's application to their highest level since 2008. Nothing to sniff at. This is another graph to describe that. While ARMs are growing in popularity, the real engine behind the plodding forth of the entry-level housing market, to whatever degree it's still doing so, are temporary rate buydowns. These are the ARMs of 2022, and though they are without a doubt a safer proposition, they are not without their risks. I haven't seen a deep dive into their implications, so let's get into it. First, a definition. A temporary rate buydown, TBD, is a device in which a seller or buyer pays the buyer lender to offer them a lower rate for a given number of years. The buyer, him or herself, is not permitted to contribute. Once the sale is consummated, monthly payments and their associated interest rates begin on a graduated schedule, rising annually until reverting to what they would have been had the buy down never been enacted. Like an adjustable rate mortgage, this gives the buyer the opportunity to pay a lower principal and interest for a period of time. Unlike an ARM, every month's rate and associated payment is known in advance. Here is a graph to describe that. While the predictability of a temporary rate buydown makes it a safer bet than an ARM, the truth is that many buyers who opt for either of these programs are doing so with the intention of refinancing the future. In either cases, if home values drop significantly enough, they would be prevented from following through with a refinancing plan, leaving them to contend with either an unpredictable future rate, ARMs, or higher than desired monthly payment, TBDs. Let's say a home is purchased today for $325,000 at 5% down, and a buyer makes use of a 2-to-1 temporary buydown. If they later want to refinance, homes in the range would need to appraise to at least $320,000 in order to refinance for the refinance package to work. While concerning, it's important to keep in mind that the presence or absence of the TBD cannot factor into buyers' loans eligibility. These loans are still unwritten at the base rate. If a buyer is pre-qualified for a loan of a given amount, their lender has determined that they are capable of paying off the loan with or without a temporary rate reduction. This offers some real stability, but I cannot help but see the danger of buyers wedging themselves into homes that at the very top of their budget because they are enamored with those years 1 and 2 rates. I've often thought of maximum pre-qualifications amount as akin to credit card limits. Just because someone says you can doesn't necessarily mean you should. I always advise my buyers to purchase below their means if they can afford to do so. We're on the brink of a recession. If history repeats itself, the same population opting for TBDs and ARMs could also be the first to face layoffs. Many of these buyers expect to either make more money in the future or refinance their homes if it appreciates normally. What if neither of these scenarios come to pass? We could find ourselves with today's buyers underwater in the not too distant future. Temporary buydowns have become a popular option because they appear to help everybody in what has proven to be exceedingly and increasingly difficult market. They offer sellers higher net proceeds than compared with the price reductions, then would result in an equal monthly payment for the buyer. They help buyers to make soaring monthly housing costs, and they help real estate agents and mortgage lenders to continue transacting at a business-sustaining pace. Their full implications are yet to be seen. For now, we should keep a close eye on seller assistant data as we do on home prices, especially as the homes that went under contract this and last month settle in November and December. Almost everyone is feeling the pain of today's viciously unhealthy housing market. Buyers who finance at an all price point are getting sucker punched at high rates. Cash buyers are still transacting on fully homes that are 35% more expensive than they were 3 years ago. And anyone compelled to sell is often getting less than their neighbors did and waiting longer to get it. But many first time and less financial solvent buyers are being forced to quit before they've even begun. I think we're likely to see Philadelphians' historically impressive home ownership rates take a serious hit in the years ahead, with potential far reaching consequences for the health of cities as a whole. Those who remain on the market should be advised to proceed with caution. All of us could benefit from revising our boom time consummation without consequence mindset to better suit our impending reality. Thank you for joining me. If you enjoyed this article, please like and subscribe and check out our links below to see how we can help your business. Have a good day.